Hello, I'm Archie Luxury and welcome to the program. I've had a hard day. I've been listening to the horrible abuse that went on at the Salvation Army. You nasty fuckers! Nasty fuckers! And I need a bit of a scotch to fucking calm down about this shit. What nasty fuckers! If you want to see my story on the Salvation Army, click this link. They're a mob of nasty fuckers. And I'd like to do a review. I'm starting a series on more affordable luxury watches. And let's do a trial one. My good friend TGV. He's done a review for me on the Oris Aquis Date Diver. And I'd like to read you this review from TGV. Okay, I am writing to you while I wait for my flight to Miami. I have to escape the winter madness that is New York City. This time of year, just for the few weeks, or I just go insane. Despite my personal loathing of Miami and its degenerate, tacky, god-awful gaudiness, at least it's warm. The Cuban food is good and it's only a cheap flight away from New York City. While in waiting for my flight and after viewing Craig Teal Jones' fantastic vintage Seamaster review, I felt really inspired to do a mini review of a new watch I recently purchased. While watching the review, I realized that most of my favorite watches over the years I've had the pleasure of owning were mostly diving watches. My favorite, of course, being my current ceramic sub. That's the Rolex Submariner, fuckers! Followed closely by countless versions of the Seamaster that have come and gone over the last decade. Having come to this realization, I wanted to understand why a diver watch over other styles of watch appeals to me. Then let's say aviation, or Archie's favorite, the dress watch. Oh, he's saying I wanted to understand why diver appeals to him, whereas other men like aviation, or Archie is the dress watch. I'm wearing my Reverso, the ultimate dress watch according to the watch snob. The diver watch is always masculine, a tool-based watch, always water resistant obviously, built for robustness, and 9 times out of 10 basically aesthetically on my favourite watch of all time, the Submariner. The dive watch has also appeared on so many iconic people, from the James Bond franchise to the wrists of royals like Will and Harry, to great new films like 2013's All Is Lost with Robert Redford. So, with all this in mind, it's no wonder that with the different styles of watch I had flirtations over the years with divers. I've always go back to the diving genre at some point. And what better style of watch to have on South Beach, Miami of all places. So, let's actually talk about this watch. I'll introduce to you the Oris Aquis Date in blue with ceramic bezel. I've always had my eye on Oris and have admired their tasteful, clean designs for many years. It's a brand that Archie so brilliantly put isn't trying to be something it's not. It's a brand that has a decent amount of history and heritage, but more importantly hasn't been tarnished by its wearers. While every asshole on the planet has a Seamaster or sub, myself included, the Oris wearer isn't as well known. In fact, who is the Oris wearer? It's perfect for me as it's stealthy and I can choose to be who I want rather than being lumped together with all the other assholes. It's a tasteful, modest choice of watch. Sure, it's not high-end horology, but if I was in my teens or 20s again, this watch would be a great place to start to get into something quality Swiss. During my year living in Barcelona in 2012, I considered getting a TTI diver, the previous version of the Aquis, but its slightly kettle shape case put me off, and the wavy dial was too similar to the Seamaster I had at the time, so I never indulged. In 2013, I got my Rolex ceramic Submariner for my 30th birthday and never looked back. It's a watch I've always wanted since a teen and I will wear until I die. However, recently I found myself lusting after my old blue Bond Seamaster again. Triggered by looking at old travel footage of me and the wife during our year in Spain, as well as CTJ's new acquisition. Also, I needed a cheaper alternative to my sub that I could wear at home as a beta, so I don't mess up my much more expensive pieces. And thus, the Aquis ticked all those boxes, and at under $1,000, I decided to go for it. It's built like a tank. It's a weighty fucker, I must admit, but it feels very sturdy, and to scale it, I would easily put it up there in terms of Omega in build quality, but obviously not on the same par as a Rolex Submariner. I have included a comparison photo to help the viewer get an idea of it compared to the Sub. Sure, its movement is a bog standard workhorse dog, as Archie would say, but it's Swiss, and for under $1,000, who really cares? With a simple date complication and Oris's legendary customer support, there's not much to worry about. I chose this version over the others as the blue really called to me. It's not the same as the Seamaster blue or previous Oris divers. It's darker, matted and slightly greyish. It's a modern blue that looks different in every light. It's simply terrific and I love it. It may not be everyone's cup of tea. Even hardcore Oris nuts have criticised it, but it does it for me and that's what matters. Another big decision for me on this watch was the rubber strap. The rubber strap. As a beta watch, it's got to be comfy and waterproof. Leather and steel are out and the rubber strap brings it nicely into the 21st century over a NATO strap. Its buckle is fantastic and I can adjust on the fly while still on the wrist with a diver's extension. The curve and design of the rubber strap is very sexy indeed and complements the modern look perfectly. The screw down crown guards are an especially nice touch. The dial is extremely clean and well laid out. Unlike the Sub and Seamaster, the date window is at the 6 o'clock rather than the 3, and this helps keep the design even more symmetrical. Every single part of it has been so thought out. For example, the hour markers are all the same, except the 12 and 6 being slightly different, allowing you to figure out which way it goes up with the lume at quick glance in dark. The shape and layout of the steel lugs and case are very nicely done. The matted and polished surfaces are also done perfectly. I shockingly got the larger 43 version over the 40mm version as the blue only comes in the larger sizes, and for this, along with the movement, are my only negatives I can find in this watch. If this watch came in blue at 40mm with a kick-ass Swiss movement, I would happily pay twice or even 3 times as much. It really would be perfection. But what the hell, it's better than a Tag Heuer, right? The only other complaint I have is the lugs are not NATO strap compatible, which is a real shame as this beauty would simply look stunning on a variety of colours. However, hopefully the rubber strap does an excellent job so I'm not too upset. Anyway, here's my quick review, and I look forward to hearing some feedback. Build quality, 8 out of 10. Design aesthetics, 9 out of 10. Features of the watch, 7 out of 10. Value for money, bang per buck, 10 out of 10. Prestige rating, 6 out of 10. Total 40 out of 50 or 80%. Kind regards, Tristano. And I gotta say there, Oris, it's a brand that doesn't pretend to be something it's not. It's a good bang per buck watch, and in this time of economic frugality, it's probably not a bad thing. So there you go, the Oris. But there you go, a wonderful review from my good friend TGV. See you later, fuckers. Nice one, Archie. You keep producing those reasonably priced watches, and your ratings will soar, fuckers.